Today, we are going to talk about nonprofit marketing and how it is very different from for-profit marketing. I worked in a nonprofit for a year before starting Serif Design, and I learned a lot about the differences of marketing, how you're going to tug at people's heartstrings, how you're going to make an impact, because it is so different than the Fortune 500 companies that you see every day, where they're just trying to sell you something. It's all about the advertising and the numbers and the money. And while in nonprofits, you are trying to attract donors and you're trying to further your mission, and money is part of it, it's not the driving factor. And so there are so many things that are different in how you approach sales, how you approach donations. And I want to kind of unpack all of that. Again, this is from my experience working in a large global nonprofit organization under the marketing department and design, and things that I saw in conversations throughout the marketing team, just to kind of give you guys an insight of what it might be like for you if you're a newer nonprofit or maybe a smaller nonprofit, what to do to start out to market well to people so that you are making the most out of your impact. I am Esther Knox DeConing. I am the founder and lead designer here at Serif Design. We are a branding and website design agency focusing on telling stories for nonprofits and socially conscious brands through design, through websites and layouts, and making things the most impactful you can be through your marketing. So I'm super excited to share my knowledge with you today. So the first thing is that nonprofit marketing focuses on emotion rather than on logic and appeals. So you are not trying to just sell them a product or up your financial gain. What you're trying to do is actually connect with people, right? Like actually make them feel like they're part of your purpose and part of your mission. So you're focusing on building relationships as opposed to selling a product. You're building a long-term relationship with people to make them want to feel like they are part of your cause and they're not just somebody who purchases a product and then moves on with their life. While there is an aspect of that in for-profit marketing where you do want to build a long-term relationship so somebody comes back and purchases your product over and over again, the difference here is that you're getting to them on an emotional and like a soul level to make them feel like this cause, this nonprofit's mission is actually something that I want to partner with for my life or for the meantime. And because of this, nonprofit marketing takes time and it requires a long-term perspective. It's all about fostering that trust and credibility with your donors and your supporters, and it's not just a quick in, quick out added on to the financial tally. The second point is that building community around your cause is really the key to successful marketing. So at my time at the global nonprofit, we focused on community gatherings, getting people to rally behind an event. So for example, the Chicago Marathon, having people sign up and raise money and support all around a community event that they can get together and rally around and get excited about. So creating events and creating spaces for people to feel like they're part of the community really is about creating a sense of belonging among everybody, which then leads to an increased engagement and loyalty to you because they have been a part of this. They understand where it's coming from the heart. So it's building the community around shared events, shared purposes. And again, it comes down to building the trust and credibility with your audience, demonstrating that you have a network of people that are going to come and support you and be a part of this together, because as we know, you can't do anything alone. So you have to do it together. That's why creating community events is really powerful. Creating community groups is really powerful. Even if it's online, networking online and making people feel like they can come around and have maybe a morning cup of coffee and hear what you have to say. I have clients who do that. They share coffee moments once a month to share updates. And it's just a really powerful way to engage your community and feel like they are part of your family, because family comes down to a lot of this. I mean, we talk about family as the central family unit, but when it comes to nonprofits, marketing towards people to make them feel like they are part of your wider family is really powerful because, again, it comes down to that emotional connection. Third thing is that storytelling is a huge, powerful tool in your tool belt for nonprofits. There are so many stories that you can tell because you impact so many lives. And so by using storytelling, you're going to really connect to people and tug at their heartstrings and get that emotional connection. And so it kind of goes back to the first point that we're talking about how it is emotional versus logic. You're wanting to make people feel compelled because they understand a piece of it. So if you're telling a story of a person who you've impacted, how their life has changed because of the purpose of your nonprofit, that is going to help people understand and really feel like they are connected to it. And storytelling is not just through video format. Of course, that is a really powerful way to go about it, but you use storytelling through design. So when we create websites, we make sure that there is a story throughout it, that it flows through. So you're not just saying, hey, we do XYZ. This is our mission. Donate to us. It's we do XYZ. These are the people that have benefited from it. And here's how we can continue to help serve the cause and help more people have their lives touched and create bigger impact because of XYZ. So you continue to build upon the story and craft this really cool world that people from the outside may not have known because they don't know. They're not in it all the time as much as you and I are in it. And so like deep in the weeds trying to figure out how to communicate, they want to come on and feel like immediately gravitated towards the story and then they understand it right away. This really inspires and engages your donors, your stakeholders, potential volunteers, people who want to come alongside and just help out in any small or large way, new employees. The storytelling is a huge part of getting them to really buy in, for lack of a better word. I know we're not talking about like financial impact, but buying into your cause and really understanding that that is a space that they want to be in. Storytelling also really helps make complex issues more digestible and accessible for people in a wider audience to really understand all the things that you do. Because I know as much as you do that the work that nonprofits do, the work that you do is very granular. There's so many pieces to it that the layman will not ever fully understand every single piece, nor should they really need to. But storytelling is a way that you can have the emotional aspect of it to make those complex issues, all the granular pieces come together and feel like a unit in a digestible format. Third thing is partnerships with other organizations can really amplify your message and your impact. So partnering with the nonprofit down the road, partnering with a for-profit down the road, to create events and spaces to pool people together. It's about sharing resources, sharing knowledge. Maybe you're putting together a workshop, maybe you're putting together a happy hour to share the insights of what you have with the insights that they have, and just kind of having a group think together. It's really powerful to have that trust of another organization come alongside you and vice versa for them. It's kind of a win-win situation. Having these types of partnerships and relationships can give you access to new resources, new funding, new expertise, technology, meeting people. It's all about the networking. And so having people that you can connect with in different areas, maybe they are in a fully different space than you, but it's kind of what we talk about a lot just in general with people. Like you want to surround yourself with people who are slightly different than you or very different than you that can give new insight. And partners in a nonprofit setting for marketing is super powerful because of that new insight, the new people you can bring through the door, the new ears that can hear what is happening in your mission and in your nonprofit. And it's really a credibility thing. It's an interest level thing, knowledge and shared experiences. And lastly, and not most importantly, but very important, is measuring and analyzing your organization's data, your success, and all of your marketing efforts. That is super important for continuous improvement. We know that what we do for marketing doesn't just last for the moment now. It continues on. People can continue to see what you put out there. And it's all about the growth and evolving of your marketing efforts. So what works now may not work 5 years from now. hopefully things last the time. And when we talk about like websites and social media, those things, the templates and the creations we do want them to last a long time, but it is super important to make sure that we're constantly evaluating, are they actually working? Are people actually coming to us, clicking on that donate button, signing up to volunteer? Are they constantly wanting to hear more about what the cause is? If the answer to that is no or unsure, then there's something that needs to be tweaked a little bit within. And tweaking and editing is not a bad thing. It's actually super important to make sure that things are going to impact even more. Also, understanding your numbers allows you to think forward and set new benchmarks and new goals for how you want to market in the future. Allows you to track your progress, measure your analytics, and see how one audience is connecting versus another audience. You can do A/B testing. We do that a lot within design to see, does A design work better than B design for a certain age group or a certain demographic, certain location? What is really going to work well for every single person? It helps you understand your audience better. So then you can, going back to the other points, you can story tell better to them. You understand what they are wanting, and you understand how to emotionally appeal to them and connect with them. Maybe it also gets into, how do you create events with partners that really are going to be impactful and inspirational for your audience, so you're not just putting out the same content over and over, or the same events over and over that don't really connect with them. So there's a lot of things there, but measuring is super important. Now, also when it comes to your website, because it's a lot of a piece of what we do, website maps like Hotjar are really, really crucial to being able to see where people click. What did they stop on? What makes them leave your website? Are they going after the first like 10 seconds? Are they staying for 5-10 minutes? It's really helpful to see a visual map of exactly what that looks like, and you can see what pages they click on, where their journey takes them. We think about the user journey a lot. That is super important to follow along, and then you can actually create profiles for your audience so you understand exactly who they are. I learned in nonprofit that marketing is all about trial and error. It's constantly evolving, and you're constantly trying to make things better. You're also constantly trying to raise more money so that you can further your mission more, especially as the economy continues to change. There are things that always have to change as we go. And so it's super important to remember that marketing evolves, things evolve, people's minds change, the circumstances, world events change, and that impacts how you market. Think about the COVID pandemic. During that is when I was working at my nonprofit. We had to pivot so dramatically because people didn't have as much money to donate to organizations. And so, how do you still emotionally appeal to them while keeping the understanding and the humility and the care for our patrons and our supporters? And then how do you move on past that after COVID is not fully over, but as we've moved on from the height of it, what do you do to then pivot and still make people feel like this is a super urgent matter? Because everything that we do is urgent, right? We are all in the business of trying to make the world a better place and make communities safer and creating impact in the environment, and it's all urgent. And so there's a level of, how do you make people understand that it's urgent and also feel like they can do it because of the situations that they are in. There's a lot that goes into nonprofit marketing. And if you have questions about marketing, strategy, design, website, social media, anything, you can drop those in the comments, or you can shoot us an email, and we'd love to help connect with you and share more of our knowledge about nonprofit marketing. The thing that I keep coming back to is, it's all about the connection with your audience, pulling them in, making them feel like they are part of this. They are family, they are friends, they are crucial and an important part in the journey to making the world a better place.